Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, throw open your windows and call out to your neighbors. It's time for John Perrotta's Comedy Factory Zoom-A-Loozah, featuring Larisa Entin, David Sinclair, John O'Connor, myself, Mike Cronin, sponsored in part by the law offices of Donald and Daffy Duck, otherwise known as the Trump Legal Team. And now, your host, John Perrotta.
Mike,
that's a new record, 8 seconds into the show.
Mike, number one, Mike, we don't talk politics, and you're doing the intro, and 30 seconds in, we're already in hot water with the sponsor. You got Daffy Duck as the legal team. Mikey, you gotta change that. We gotta come up with a new way to start the show, because the neighbors are hearing this shit. You know what I mean?
I just love Mike's set dressing tonight. Red background, red hat, red shirt.
I've even got a Santa shirt on. I went all out.
He looks like he's laying in a giant waterbed. That's what you look like.
There you go, man. I had a waterbed.
I had one too. Those were fun days. I had that.
What was that woman's name?
Roanne from Off Track Betting. I used to put her in my act. She used to sell waterbeds, and I used to keep it in the winter, put the heat up. You get in that bed, nice and warm.
Yep.
Good times. Good time.
I wonder if you can still buy one today.
I haven't heard of a waterbed for sale anywhere. Unless you're going to use one. I don't know. But we will discuss. If anybody out there knows if Mike Cronin can buy a waterbed, I'll buy that damn thing. I told you what my ex-wife did, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I had a king-size waterbed, and we got what she did was, I was in New Orleans in the Navy Reserve. She decided that was it for me and her. She emptied the water out of the king-size mattress, took the frame, the oak frame, beautiful waterbed, took it, put the mattress back on the floor. They filled it back up with water. I went in the bedroom. I was 25. I went in the bedroom. I had a mattress of cold water on the floor, Mikey.
Oh, man.
My father looked at my mother. I think the kid's got a problem.
That's incredible.
I think the kid's got a problem. I'll never forget that.
He's got that tattooed on his arm now.
Hey, I'm on the floor trying to move the mattress of water. Like I'm going to lift it up and put it somewhere. You know what I mean? It's like 9 million pounds of water.
Off track.
Johnny, you ever have a waterbed?
I've never had a waterbed. While they are, as a kid, I thought they were cool. But as an adult, I'm going to be clean here. It makes for a difficult romantic encounter.
No, Johnny, I want to tell you, when I was in my 20s, that waterbed was rocking.
That was you were riding the waves,
Johnny. That was the place in Cranston to be at 10 o'clock at night.
In your waterbed,
people wanted to be on John Perrotta's waterbed.
There were lines around the building.
I used to put ads in the paper. I have a comic in the kitchen. You're done. You come on a waterbed. It was phenomenal.
It's like it's more people than the water country wave pool.
Oh, man.
Johnny, try a waterbed. I'm telling you, I wouldn't want one now. I mean, I'm older, but when I was younger, that was a way to go.
Yeah.
Dave Sinclair. Probably find one on Facebook Marketplace.
Dave Sinclair, did you ever have a waterbed?
Never had a waterbed.
And you were out in Minnesota, and you never had a waterbed?
No, I didn't live in Minnesota. My son lives there.
When you go visit, it's cold.
When I go visit, no,
waterbed would be nice. No,
this time of year it'd be an ice bed.
Yeah,
I know, right? Larisa Entin, nurse, first responder. Did you ever have a waterbed when you were in Russia years ago?
We had the ice bed.
Had an ice bed?
It's way too cold. Way too cold. The water would just freeze.
It's got a heater, Larissa. You crank it up.
Oh, we don't have heat in Russia. You're kidding me? No.
There's no heat in Russia.
And that.
No heat in Russia.
So, John, if you talk so highly about the waterbed,
I'm going back to the 80s. I'm going back to the mid 80s.
So, how long the first marriage
lasted? What? You got froze there. How long did what?
Your first marriage. Your first marriage lasted.
The first marriage only. The waterbed wasn't enough to save us. The marriage didn't last long.
Okay.
Now, then I got another waterbed and put it in. I went to the other bedroom and put it in there, and I had better luck with that waterbed.
So do you think the mattress actually helped to prolong your first marriage?
Wasn't much that was going to prolong my first marriage. She just,
Got it.
she thought I had a lot of bad habits, Larissa. She thought I had a lot of bad habits.
Like your band. Like your band.
She said, he's got a lot of bad habits. What are you going to do, John? I'm a nice kid, but, you know, don't marry me. Put it that way. I make a great groom. Have the wedding. I'll dance with you. We'll eat cake. We'll drink. We'll have a good time. And after the wedding, a week later, you got to take me back.
You're going to take me back.
So,
Take me
John,
back to the waterbed.
There's a warranty on me. It's a 7-day warranty. You marry me, you got 7 days to take me back.
So instead of the groom, just be a best man. You will be better off.
Now you tell me. Now you tell me. You would have saved me a lot of headaches if you told me that in 82. You know what I mean? It's a little late now, Larissa. I didn't know you in 82. How old were you in 82?
Let's not go there.
You don't want to go there.
I was bored. Let's put it this way.
Probably in kindergarten. Cronin, you just look so full of joy, Christmas spirit.
I am.
I just look at you and I just don't know what to do.
I am full of joy. Christmas is around the corner. I'm looking forward to it.
What do you want for Christmas? If I had to get you some, what do you want?
Let me see. Let me see if you could get me something for Christmas. You know what? I ordered some great dinner plates from Good Housekeeping. I'd like to get the cereal bowls to go with it, the white ones.
You think I want to go online and order cereal bowls?
Yeah, I've been doing it. I bought like 3 sweaters. I bought these bowls. I've been just Amazon and Walmarting left and right.
I don't know if any of you guys got this problem. My wife keeps ordering stuff from Amazon. It gets delivered. The thing's broke. She don't like it. Got to take it back. Next day, 2 packages come. The next day, 3 packages come. 90% of them go back. So all I do is take the package in, put it on a table. I wait an hour. I get it. She's got the slip on it, and I go drop it off. I'm tired of it. I told her, stop ordering stuff. I can't take it. You guys have that problem? You guys, your girls, wives, you got Johnny? Does she keep ordering stuff?
Samantha will order like 5 shirts because she doesn't know what size she needs or wants because all the clothes run different sizes. So she'll order like 5 or 7 or 10 and she'll keep 2. And then she has to return the other 8. Luckily for us, the UPS store, we can walk there. It's only like 5 minutes away.
Oh,
but yeah, she does all the time. I barely return anything, but she returns. She's been ordering less stuff lately, but over the summer she returned a lot of stuff.
I literally told her the other day, how much is that package? She said $40. I said, I'll give you 60, throw it in the garbage. I'll give you 60. I'll even give you a $5 tip, 65. Let's get rid of it. I'm just tired of running in and out of the place.
What is it that she's buying? What is she getting?
I feel like I work for FedEx, Mike. That's how bad it is.
Wow.
She buys all kind of stuff. Gifts for, oh, this will be a good gift for my daughter. This will be this. This will be that. And then it comes and it's not what it's supposed to be. Dave, you don't have that problem?
It's fun, man. It's fun.
Oh, good.
The only thing that I had broken in my black background, the tubular frame was only tack welded on one side. I called them up. They said, not a problem. We'll refund your credit card. So I still have it. I just got to send it out, get it welded on the bottom. We're good to go.
I mean, I miss the days of going to the store. I want this, get it delivered or take it with you. I see it. I like it. Well, clothes, try them on. I hate you get clothes in the mail. It's never right. For me, anyway. Dave Sinclair, you don't have this problem?
No, my wife orders all her stuff. She told me today she's all done with her Christmas shopping.
That's how you do it, man.
She ordered everything online and everything has come in and she's put it all away and that's it.
Well,
how's your wife feeling, Dave?
She's doing good. She's doing good. She recovered well from the surgery. She goes back to work next Monday.
Beautiful.
And
that's awesome.
I'm going to have to talk to her, Dave, about about deliveries and how she does it.
Yeah.
Without
I
headache.
mean, once in a while she returns stuff, but not very often.
Not 4 times a week.
Not 4 or 5 times a week, no.
No, it's my part-time job in the pandemic. Larissa, you don't buy stuff and return it, and you don't
No.
no online shopping like the Moscow. Lisa?
Honestly, no. I need to be at the store. I need to see. I need to feel. It just I really don't shop online. No. I wear pajamas at work. We wear scrubs. So
Yeah.
I really don't need much clothes. But everything I have, it fits so far. So I have enough. I have enough.
You're all set for a while.
But I have an 18-year-old. Packages keep coming every day.
Oh, she gets them?
It's almost hysterical. A pair of earrings, lipsticks. The next day, I hear some hairband. Like it's so fun.
It's crazy.
It's so convenient. I think it's Amazon will send you a text. Your package has arrived, and you click on it, and it's a picture of where they left the package. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. I
haven't had anything stolen yet that I can remember.
I bought Pastor West a book last week, The Rise, by Marcus Samuelson. He's a black chef in black culture, in how black culture, black food is threaded through America. And I got it for Pastor West, and bang, I got the picture from Amazon. You got packages arrived sitting right there on his front porch. It's awesome. I get all excited.
Yeah.
Maybe I have to figure out a way to make this work.
I think you should, man. I mean, I look online, I see what I want, point, click, get it. This red background, online. Black background, online. This shirt I'm wearing, online. The hat, I just, online. Click, 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 click.
Yeah, I went to these shirts I like in the winter, and I found my size. I had to go to the store and look through right. I found my size. I bought 10 shirts, 10 of them. So I'm all set for the winter. I'm more than all set. I got 10 shirts. I don't have to get nothing delivered because if you get them they never fit. They're either too big, too small. I don't know, that's my problem. I don't know, Johnny. What's going on, Johnny? Johnny's got the bow tie. You're always looking dapper.
I got no moves, man. I got hats and the mustache, and that's it. So I got to try to do something to spice it up.
He's looking good, man. He's looking good. I was thinking of you the other day, John, when I watched the day after, when I watched the Tyson and Roy Jones Jr.
right?
Fight.
Yep. I almost bought it. I didn't buy it, but I almost did. My sister was texting me, though, like crazy. Mike Tyson's 54. He moves so fast. I said, I saw the videos of him training. He looked good.
Johnny.
Now they're going to put together, I watched a video last night, Holyfield is going to step into the ring with Tyson. They're working on that now. Yeah, yep.
Well, did you see the other one? That kid, Logan Paul? He was a YouTuber. He
Right,
was on that night.
Yep.
He knocked out Nate Robinson from the NBA.
Flattened him. Yep.
He's 2-0. He's won 2 boxing matches. I don't know who he fought first, but the second guy he fought was a basketball player.
Right.
He's going to go from Nate Robinson to Floyd Mayweather.
Right. I saw that
Mayweather's
yesterday.
coming out of retirement to have an exhibition against this guy.
I
What
hope-
are you, insane? You're going to fight Floyd
Foreman
Mayweather?
wants to train Nate Robinson. I saw that. George Foreman wants to train Nate Robinson. Yeah.
I mean,
I hope Floyd Mayweather lights him up.
I hope what he does first is he does this normal Mayweather thing, which he stands there, he moves, he lets the guy get tired first. And then I hope he drills the living daylights out of that kid and puts him face down.
Yeah, me too.
I wasn't thinking when I rented that fight. I said, I'll rent it. I got to see it's $50. I said, I want to see Tyson. I got to do this. I rent the thing. I figured it said 9 o'clock. I figured one boat and something. I'm watching. They got rap singers. They got another boat. Somebody else is singing, another boat. Next thing I know, 11:30, I'm sleeping on the top.
No.
I paid $50. I'm sleeping. I wake up. I'm looking like this. I see 2 rounds of Tyson and what do you fight? Tyson and Roy
Jones. Yeah.
About 2 rounds. Pass back out. I paid $50. So about a round and a half. rap singers, other fighters. I got taken.
I watched the whole thing the next day on YouTube.
Smart.
Thank you. I blew my 50. Now you're telling me you're watching on YouTube.
That's fun. Pastor Mike got it, and he had some people over his house. I opted not to go. That's fun. You get together a bunch of friends that are boxing fans, sit there, talk, give you your analysis on it. That's a lot of fun. But
Pre-pandemic, yeah.
I wouldn't spot the 50 to watch it by myself when you can grab it the next day on YouTube.
Why didn't you tell me that, Mike?
I thought you would know that.
I don't know this stuff.
You know about waterbeds and stuff. We just figured you'd know.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm technically obsolete.
John
I don't know any of
taught
this
me
stuff.
today. I learned from John today. John called me up today. We're having a conversation. He says to me, Mikey, hold on. I'm at CVS. So he pulls up and he says to the girl, Colleen, how you doing? All right. So I'm thinking.
She pulled in the drive-up window. It was a girl in the next car.
I'm thinking as he's saying that, I'm laughing because years ago I used to do a bit about Italians saying, how you been? And so John gets back on the phone and I was kind of chuckling a little bit. And I said, what is it with Italians? You ask the question and then you answer it for them. And John, whoa, Mikey, no. What we do is we ask, how you doing? ? And then we ask the second question, all right? ? So we're asking two questions. I was like, oh, there you go. Now I know.
It's two questions.
I didn't know that.
I didn't answer it. I just have two questions in a row. How you doing? All right. Two questions.
It was, and he has that Rhode Island slang like he's packing a 32 in his waistband. Colleen, how you doing? All right.
That's sick. I'm Polish and Irish too, brother.
I would never peg you had to have Polish in you at all. You look 100% Italian.
That's the reason I put an application in when I was 22 for the mob, and they looked it over. Polish and Irish, we can't take you.
You're not a pure blood.
Nah, not a pure blood.
Yep.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it unless you want to kill somebody and stick us kielbasa in their head.
Yeah.
That's it. No way.
Even then, you can still only get to like vice president. They won't let you rule.
They won't let you rule.
Vice done.
Vice Don, exactly. Don Perrotta. I like that.
We should start our own mafia.
John, do you remember the bit Dave Lorenzo used to do about his wedding with the Puerto Ricans and the Polish?
Yeah.
That was hilarious. Dave Lorenzo used to do this bit about his wedding, and he would say, I'm just going to paraphrase it, but when he did it, God rest his soul, it was hilarious. He would say, he goes, I got the Polish people out in the parking lots trying to steal hubcaps off of moving cars. Whoa! And my Puerto Rican relatives were out there shooting them.
Yeah, that would go over so well at the colleges these days.
Yeah, Dave, we'd be in
They
trouble.
would love that.
I know, man.
We politically correct today. You can't even. All you can say is, "How's everybody doing? Good night." That's a
Right?
What else are you going to say? You can't say anything, Larissa.
Yep.
Can't say anything today. Everything's
So I was
politically
online the
correct.
other day. Boo! Boo! Get off the computer! Yeah, you can't do anything anymore. I saw one of my old bits as a meme. That made me feel good. I had this bit like 5 years ago that I only ever did a few times. That was about how Amazon. There was a story a long time ago, a few years ago, about how they were going to start delivering packages by drone. And I was like, oh, Amazon Santa. You'll just pay for a thing, and it'll all of a sudden on Christmas Eve you'll hear like clop, 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 and they'll be delivering packages via drone on your roof. And I said that, and I had that bit. I never really grew it into anything. And then 2 nights ago, I was on Instagram, and I saw someone basically with the same idea. I was like, man, I'm always ahead of the curve. I just can't I can't lock it down, Johnny.
You can't deliver. You should have delivered. That would have been big, Johnny.
It would have been big. Amazon Santa. If I even had a 1% slice of that, we'd be doing this.
And you had that
right
idea
now.
a long time ago?
Oh, yeah. Like it was a bit I did like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I could never get it to work, though. And now that's going to happen, and I'm losing out on a fortune.
You're not getting a dime.
But luckily, I got this beer.
There you go. There you go.
What's going on in New York City, John?
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of business as usual here. There's a lot of people walking around with masks. There's a lot of people walking around with no masks. Since this thing started, I've tried my best to just stay away from people because there were 8.5, 9 million people here. And when I lived here, I try to stay away from them anyway, before all this happened. So now with this happening, I try to steer clear, but people don't care. That's what it ultimately comes down to. Like, people just don't care. They're walking around. They're just, and that's why, luckily I can work from home, because if I had to take the subway, man, I'm telling you right now, I would be in multiple physical altercations a day. If I had to take the subway now with people like, yeah, you got any money? I'd be like, dude, don't be breathing in my face right now. I don't want to die. Can you get out of here, please? Like, usually I would give people, I don't know. But then once you're here, like when I first got here to the city, I would give people money if I saw them and they were poor. But then you quickly see someone, you give them money, or you start, like, the people you've given money to, then you start catching them, like, before they start their act. Because there are so many people that have an act. This guy used to get on the train when I lived in Harlem, and he used to walk through the train with no shoes on, and he was missing a couple of toes, too. So he was missing a couple of toes, and he'd walk through the train. And
that's commitment to the bit.
Dude, he would just do this voice like, please, I forget what he would say, but it was like, money, please. Money, please. And he'd be like limping around. And the first time I saw that guy, I was like, your life sucks. Here's money. And the next time I was going to the train, I'm like waiting on the platform. And they got this little bar at the end of the platform where it's like, don't go in the tunnel, basically. Don't go in here. Yeah. And I saw the dude in there changing, and he was like taking off a tracksuit. And he took off his shoes and he left them there. So this dude jumps on the train after he takes off like his Adidas windsuit. He leaves it hidden in the sewers like a Ninja Turtle, and then he gets on the train and he limps up and down going, money, please, money. Then who knows what he does? He takes all the money, and maybe he does need it. But the fact is, it's like, all right, but you had like an Adidas tracksuit and like Jordans that you left in like the do not enter section of 145th Street. So no, I'm not giving you money now. I'm on to you, Yeah. And the problem is there are so many people in New York that like are homeless and they do need something, but there are even more people here that are schemers, Of course. And you see the same people time and again because they ride the same train time and again. So then you start
get used to it. You know who's who.
There's one kid that used to ride the 7 train all the time, and he would get on the train and he'd be like, as soon as the doors would close, like, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just trying to get back to New Jersey. I just need 37 cents. He always had the exact, down to the penny. He always had it, like down to the cent. Like, I just need $1.36. Does anyone have a dime? And then he would march up and down the train and just yell. And then no one would give him money because that's not the way to ask for money, yelling at people. And then he would just be like, no one? Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And then he would get to the next stop and get off the train. But the thing is, that must work for him because he's stuck with it, man, for years. He was walking up and down the train yelling. And it's just like, man,
he must have got money. He must have got money.
You'd think you'd develop a skill. You get on, you start juggling bowling pins or something. I'm like, it's $5. That was impressive. No, you don't just come up and yell in my face. I don't owe you $5. Get out of here.
My good friend Danny Krenka, who owns Nico Bella's restaurant, who John Perrotta was going to do comedy shows there. I didn't this summer because of where we are during the pandemic, but in summers past, now Danny's restaurant is right in the heart of downtown Providence. It's on the corner of Boston and Westminster. So in the summer, go down there, get one of the little patio tables out there, sit there.
It's a nice spot down there.
Cigarettes, have a couple of beers, and these people make that lap. They go around and around and around. Now, Danny used to have an outreach ministry for people that were drug addicts and alcoholics, and he said to me, Mikey, these people know where to go to eat. They know where to go to sleep. They work their bit until they either get the money they need or they get tired and then they go and sleep. Because I had one guy come up in the same night, come up to me, clean cut guy, white guy, looks like, he just strolled down from the east side. Hey, excuse me, I hate to bother you. I've got my wife and my little baby in the car. We got a flat tire. We're just trying to make it back home. I was wondering if you could possibly have like maybe $5. So I let the guy give me the pitch, and I had turned him down. So, like, it takes them on average, because I sat there, they're doing that whole lap. It takes them about maybe 20 minutes to come back around again. He comes back around again, comes up to me as if he never met me before in his life in the same bit. Matter of fact, Danny just posted a picture. I'm saddened by this. We met a couple of summers ago. Big Red. Big Red was a black man, and he was big. The guy had a hand the size of a catcher's mask. He was 94 years old when we met him. He had his bit down. I bought him some beers. I liked him that much. We talked about faith. I asked him if he knew Jesus as a savior. He said he did. He started singing. Amazing Grace. It was incredible. Matter of fact, I have it on my phone. I should try to pull it up so I can play it over the audio for you guys. He was incredible. He was so good that Danny used to bring him in on jazz night. He said, Big Red, anytime you want to pop in, just come down, come up, sing a couple of songs. So he would do it every now and then. And then Angel and I were on our way to a show at my church, a Funny for Fun show. And I was going to buy a flat screen TV that we'd raffle off. So we go in there, and who is in the Subway sandwich section? Big Red. He's sitting there. He's got a newspaper out in front of him. He's on his phone. So I stand back so I can be respectful. He's placing bets with his bookie. Yeah. Placing bets with his bookie. I took a couple of pictures with him. Man, he was a great guy. Danny just posted within a handful of weeks ago that he passed away at 96.
Wow.
But he was another one that had the bit down. And he was like a living legend, to be out in 94 panhandling, singing. He had talent. He had a beautiful baritone voice like James Earl Jones, and he was a nice guy. He told us stories about how when he served in the Army, he was in their boxing program. He boxed with Joe Louis. And I said to Danny, I said, can you imagine Big Red coming at you in the ring when he's 22 years old? He'd hit me and knock me to Russia, back where Larisa comes from. That guy was just enormous. Such a good guy.
So he had it down, Mike. He had it down.
They all do, John. They all do. And then you go to that 7-Eleven. The 7-Eleven, I go there to get cigarettes, and they congregate. They have like their meetings right there. And this girl asked me for $5. She's young. She could have been anywhere from like 17 to 19, very young. So I simply asked her, how did you end up in this position to be asking me for $5? Well, that was it. She just went up one side of me and down the other, F-bombing me left and right, calling me a white cracker. So I get my cigarettes, they come back out, and now they're all huddled up. They're in a huddle. They're having a meeting of the minds. They've decided to meet, and she's pointing at me, calling me a cracker and this and that. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But when they adjourn their meeting, they break out. There they go. Around the laps they go. She's asking me like she never saw me before. Another woman that comes to mind, this woman, Diane. Black woman, big personality. She would tell you all kind of stories about how when she was younger, she modeled it. And you could see in her face that at one time she was probably a very beautiful woman. I bought her shots of Jack. Man, this woman could drink me under the table.
So what it sounds to me, Mike, and the rest of the panel, maybe they agree. What it sounds to me is you're picking up homeless people and drinking. That's what it just sounds like to me. I mean, you got, maybe
I'm
you should
telling
go
you,
to New
man,
York City and hook up with the guy with no toes.
If you're going to a wedding and it's a +1 and you don't have a date, just spend $50 on a dress, go down and pick up the girl that you want to take to the wedding, and you'll be all set.
He's
You'll
crazy.
be all set. Yeah, that's where you're gonna find your +1.
Well, another few months of this pandemic, and if we don't get these vaccines, we're gonna be down there.
We'll be down there, right?
We'll be down there. We'll be huddling with all of them, trying to figure out our spiel, our game plan. If you can steal Big Red's act, you know, go in and sing Amazing Grace, something like that.
Big Red. I'm gonna you guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna find Big Red's video and play it for us.
Larissa, now when you were in Russia,
Yeah.
is there a lot of homeless people in Russia?
No, because it was a communist country, so everybody is the same.
Everybody got the same.
Everybody was homeless.
Everybody is the same. Everybody on the same level. We didn't have lower class. We didn't have upper class, middle class.
You got nothing.
Everyone is
Everything's-
upper class.
That's you can't get ahead over there.
No, I don't think it would be even allowed. I think you would end up in jail, even if you attempted to ask somebody for money.
Now, if you stayed there and you became a nurse there, you wouldn't be doing as good as you're doing here. What do they pay? The pay is small, or how does it work?
I don't know. When I left, it was still a communist country, so I wouldn't know. Who knows what's going on now? But I'll tell you, when I drive to work, and I always take the same route to the hospital, it's amazing to see that the same homeless man, it's like they claim their intersection or their stop sign, and God forbid you end up in somebody else's stop sign intersection. The same faces, years after years.
A couple of years ago, they had two homeless guys on an intersection. One was saying, "This is my spot that you're arguing," and one of the homeless guys stabbed the other guy and killed him. He killed him over their territory, over the spot where they collecting their money. That's like crazy, Dave. That really happened.
Sure.
That is crazy.
But you know, I'm thinking it's 6:45 in the morning. It's dark and it's cold, and they're right there. What a discipline to get up. Well, if they ever went to bed, I don't know, but to get up and get dressed and be there.
Yeah, I'm just thankful that that's got to be. I wouldn't want to be. Some of them maybe are acting, some are really need it, but I wouldn't want to be.
Where'd John O'Connor go?
Give him money, but it's hard. You don't know what they're gonna do. Go drink with it.
Welcome back, John.
How is it available?
Welcome back, John.
Thank you. I held up the finger. I said I'll be right back.
I found a video of Big Red.
I'm sorry. I thought it was another finger.
Oh no.
Johnny's got it. What are you drinking, Johnny?
I'm drinking Peroni.
Peroni.
It's
In
Italian
honor of
beer.
Perrotta.
Italian beer. Peroni.
Italiana. Hey.
Maybe the next time you see the
What's the
guy
matter
with
for you?
no toes, you could give him a Peroni.
I'll be like, yeah, cheers. What I don't know what's cheers and what's friend in Italian. Is it?
Salute. Salute in Italian.
Salute.
Here you go.
That's right.
I'm gonna play the
got,
video of Big Red.
This is Big Red making his national debut on the Zoom show with Dave Sinclair and the crew.
There you go. Gotta turn it up.
We can't hear it
As
good,
loud
Mike.
as it goes.
His dad.
Well, we're gonna have to bring. We're gonna have to
Yeah, well, he
figure
is
out a way
dead,
to get
so-
Big Red down here somehow.
That's true, Larissa. He is dead, so he would be hard to hear.
That's a shame. I couldn't play it so you could hear it. Dave, when you do that, it plays loud and clear. What kind of phone do you have?
A good one.
I have a
I don't get my phone. I have an iPhone.
I do too. I have a 6S Plus.
You got it on speaker?
Yeah, I have
No,
it on
I just
speaker.
do it the
You got
regular
the
way.
volume up and everything?
Let me
I
try.
mean, I was
it again.
really looking forward to hearing Big Red.
All right, we're gonna come back to Big Red again. I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, we got issues over here. We got
Technical.
issues. Technical issues.
But
Big
not at
Red's
your
been
end.
gone for 2 weeks and we can't get him up. What are you saying, Larissa?
I said, but not at your end, John. Technical difficulties.
I had technical difficulties at 24 and 29. Those are the 2 days I got married. I had big technical difficulties, Johnny.
All right, let's see if we hear it this time.
All right.
Okay. A little bit better. Try holding it at the top of the microphone. Nope, that didn't help.
You can hear he's got a good voice, but
You got the volume all the way up on the
it's hard
phone?
to-
Yeah, all the way up. Yeah.
Can you hear it in New York?
Oh yeah. I thought he was outside.
Too bad. Too bad.
Holiday season, give the gift
Guy had a great voice. Great voice. A lot of.
We could hear it a little bit. We could hear it a
He
little
hung.
bit.
He hung
Yeah,
out that whole night with us. He drank beers with outside the whole night. He had more stories than Carter's Got Pills, and he was a nice
The
guy.
guy was
He
94 years old. Of course
Yeah.
he's got
Yeah.
stories. He must have a
Let me
ton
tell
of
you
stories.
something, man. When this guy shook my hand, his fingers were tickling my elbow. That's how big this guy's hand was. He was a big boy.
Johnny,
Why did-
where do we go from here, Johnny?
I don't know.
We go to Big John.
Yeah, we could go. Yeah, the Big Red is my buddy Doublemint. My other friend Juicy Fruit. We're all there. But why? Do you know why they called him Big Red?
Because of how big he was. He had
But why red?
because his hair was reddish when he was younger.
Oh, okay, all right.
And from what I understand from black culture, that's called red bone. And he had the reddish hair. He was enormous.
You got a fetish thing, Mike, for red, huh?
Well, I liked the guy. I really liked him, Dave.
I'll bet the sheets on your waterbed were red.
Red, everything's red.
I enjoyed talking to him. He was a good guy.
Got red satin sheets probably on his bed.
Yep. Next time I'm gonna. What we'll do next time is I'll play the host because I can't video share right now. But if I were the host on my account, I could. Then we all could hear it loud and clear. So also, John O'Connor, moving right along, I have become a fan of the Big Face. I watched Samantha's interview with Ray Harrington. Very good interview. The thing with what amazes me about Ray is so talented and he's so humble. He is so humble. Just a good guy. That was a great interview.
Yeah, that was a great interview. And Ray's episode was a lot of fun. She's had quite a few, Samantha, my girlfriend, on her podcast, Big Face. She's had quite a few people on that were like industry people. She had this guy,
Right.
Happy Anderson. Happy Anderson was in like the last X-Men movie. She had on another guy that was in Billion, like the TV show Billions. The guy she had this week was on like 30 Rock and what were the other ones?
I'm binge watching 30 Rock right now. Ask who
30
it was
Rock,
that was on 30
Punisher.
Rock.
Who was he on 30 Rock? She'd have to look it up. But he was on 30 Rock. He was on Punisher. He was on Broad City. He's done it all. So it's always cool to see that because, I don't know, I think, especially as comics, I think a fair number of people that decide they're going to do comedy, they do comedy because they think, I'll do comedy and then that'll lead to me being famous and I won't have to work anymore.
Right.
Especially the younger kids. That's why I did it. I don't know why you guys did it, but that's what I was doing it for. I was like, I'll do this. I'll get like $1 million to say 3 lines in that Adam Sandler movie, and then that'll be it. And I can just retire. But that's not even close to the way it goes. And if you listen to Samantha's podcast, she has a lot of people that have been on a lot of shows.
Yes.
And still no one knows them. You know, like she had this guy, Kelly O'Coin, who was on Billions. He's like a main character. He was like Dollar Bill, right? That was his name? Dollar Bill on that show. And, you know, a great dude, promoted the podcast, did everything. But of all, you would think like, oh, someone that's been on a Showtime show, they're going to get a lot of views.
Right.
And I'm not picking on him, but like he didn't get that many views, you know?
No, they'll definitely get there. What I like about Samantha, and I told John today, we got to get you booked on that show. We definitely got to get Johnny P on with Samantha.
Oh,
I
sure,
like her
yeah.
style. She's laid back. I like her vernacular. When she said, and I'm saying to myself, no way, man, she had to do a pre-interview first. She says to the viewers, I want you to know I've never met this dude before. And it was Ray. And the way she just has a very easy way about her and the conversation flows. And I think that's the key to a successful podcast. Have a conversation. And I look forward to seeing Johnny P on there.
Now you tell us.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. I hooked her up with Nick. I gave her all of Nick's information. She got back to me and said she's going to be picking it back up with the bookings.
Well, you'll be our agent through Johnny, and you get signed.
I'm telling you, man, if there's one thing Grampy Mike knows how to do is press flesh and kiss babies. I am a good PR man.
Don't ever confuse those two.
PR man. That's right. Never confuse the two. But that being said, I'm telling you, man, all throughout my comedy career, I've had, I'm not going to name the names, but
How long is that comedy career? What time is it?
It's exactly right. We're going on 17 minutes. I've had many a comic call me up and want me to manage them. One I can tell the story from is Michael Young Show. John O'Connor. Do you know Michael Young Show from New York?
Yeah. Well, I don't know him personally, but I know him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I came across him. He was hitting me up in my inbox. So I had Meatball Comedy Stop Productions. He was doing a gig down with Nick Albanese down at the Italian Brothers restaurant in East Providence. So I told him, I said, I'll go down and I'll check you out. So I went down. He was hilarious. I loved his bit. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So now I book him, and he reaches out to me. He goes, hey, can I bring my friend with me? She's a writer. She's done this, that, and the other thing. And that friend turned out to be Kathleen Roll. Does everyone know who Kathleen Roll is? She's an iconic writer. She's written for everybody. She's written for The Daily Show, Saturday Night Live. She's written for The Girl Dress. Matter of fact, when I met her, she had a big notepad with it. It was all dog-eared, and I had them on what I call a double header. I had them Friday night in Massachusetts, Saturday night in Rhode Island. I put them up in a hotel, and she'd just sit at the bar and she'd be writing. So now after that, those two gigs, they went well. Michael Young Show asks me to represent him, and he had a show coming up, and I had told him, hey, look, man, I'm flat. I really am, but I got a lot going on, and that's not really what I'm looking to get into right now. So then he sends me this poster. So this poster is Bruce Lee. It's Bruce Lee with his head on it, all the Bruce Lee print from Enter the Dragon, and he's got his stuff like on that with it. So I told him, I said, I'm not a lawyer, but I would imagine that if the Bruce Lee estate sees this, they're going to ask you to cease and desist because you're clearly using copyrighted material. He doesn't listen to me. He puts it up anyway. So a few more times he called me up and he'd ask for things. He'd go the opposite way all the time. So he called me up one time and he asked me again. I said, you know what, Michael Young Show? I love you. I do. I really do. You are one of the funniest people that I know in this business. But I got to tell you what, if I managed you, I would spend a good part of my day saying to myself, or asking myself rather, what is Michael Young Show doing right now to sabotage his career and get us like flooded with all kind of lawsuits?
He used to call me. He contacted me for work. You
I'll
told
tell you,
me he
man,
was really funny. I had enough trying to book guys around here, and I didn't wind up using them, but I think he contacted me like 50 times. I try to help everybody out, Dave, but
he did not let me down. He brought the house down. He does about an hour, and he does the whole first set. Now, you got to remember, Michael Young Show's mom and dad are immigrants from Korea. So he speaks that language and that accent perfectly, much like Margaret Young Show does. So the first half hour of his show, he does it all with the Korean accent. He's purposely flubbing English vernacular, and it is absolutely hilarious. And then all of a sudden, when he hits that 30-minute mark, he shifts the gear, and then you learn he talks just like I'm talking right now. Perfect, fluent English. He is so funny. I thought I was going to pass out. I was laughing so hard, I was seeing the sparkly stars above my head.
And where is he now?
He's still working. Matter of fact, he called me. He knows I'm in the car business, so he calls me from time to time. And he called me, I would say 6 months ago. He wants to buy a car, and he wants my help. And he just tortures me. He is a fierce negotiator. He has no idea that there is a bottom line on these new vehicles, and it is what it is. He wants to like offer them like $5,000 below invoice and net, and think that that's still he's paying too much. He's hilarious. To talk to him, to have a regular conversation with him, is definitely worth its price of admission.
Write that name down, Dave. We'll book him in New Bedford when this is over.
I'm telling you, Johnny P, if we get back in business, you bring in Michael Young Show to headline a show, he will not disappoint.
We're going to be
Chevys out of the harbor and he can sell them.
And a matter of fact, what we did too is I had them stay at my apartment the second night. and Michael Young Show is very, very stubborn. It's like he doesn't. And Michael Young Show, if you listen, God bless your buddy, you know that I love you. And this isn't anything I've never said to your face. He's very stubborn. He doesn't listen. So him and Kathleen Roll, they get into it. Now Kathleen Roll is a prolific writer. She did some movie shorts with Ben Stiller's mom and dad when they were still alive. Her boyfriend for a lot of years was an Academy Award-winning director or producer. This girl has been around, and
I like girls that have been around.
no, what I mean been around. She's been around in the big circles. She's rubbed elbows with some big people, and she's written for a lot of people. So
Those are the kind of girls
I'm
that
not
like
interested
waterbeds,
in that one.
John.
I had her.
Those are the kind of girls that like waterbeds.
Right, exactly right.
I'm
David,
looking for the kind of girl that likes a waterbed, not the one that wants to write. If she wants to stay at the bottom right, that's her business.
The first night I had them at the Coral Seafood up in Massachusetts, sold out show. Next night, Saturday night, Carousel Grill in Warwick, sold out show again. So we're sitting at the bar, and I ran with a traditional host, 3 acts. That's it. So she says to me, "Hey, do you mind if I go up?" I said, "Absolutely not." So I got her to go up. She went up, did about 17 minutes, just blew the roof off the place. She's so funny. It was really cool. And I call her every now and then. I talk to her from time to time. You know what, John? I should reach out to her, see if she wants to come on and do a show with us.
So we have nothing to lose at this point, Mike. Our next show, we're going to be charging $20, and it includes the vaccine.
There you go.
Your first drink.
We should get her
Injectable and gummy bear.
Your first drink.
I like that.
We should book her and Michael Young show.
Yeah, we'll book
Yeah.
him, and who's going to pay him? We got nobody in the audience.
Nah, see, this is where you
We'll
loop in
find a
Dave
homeless
Sinclair.
guy.
Do it on a Zoom show. They're not
Yeah.
doing anything right now. What are they doing
Zoom
right
show.
now?
Oh, we'll get him on a Zoom show, yeah, because we don't pay.
Now you loop in Dave Sinclair, you put it at Mikey B's, Larissa opens, and there you
There
go.
you go. And we're good to, or we can do it on a subway car with all of John's homeless guys.
You could do that. It's going to be tough. That's a lot of timing, man, because when that stop rolls up, people aren't going to pay attention.
Listen,
John and I will block the exits.
and
John
the way
O'Connor, what is it like riding a subway? What's that like?
You never rode a subway?
Never.
It
Really?
depends. It depends. It's funny because in Boston, the train used to stress me out. And now after living here, if I go to Boston and I get on the train, I'm like, I'm gonna.
It's like riding the kiddie roller coaster.
This is like this little Tykes subway. Give me a break. But in New York, it depends because you either get on and there's no one on because it's a certain time of night and you're taking a certain train, or you get on and it's just mobbed and you can't move or breathe or whatever. Or you get on. I was riding the F train home one night. I don't even know where I was coming from, but I was riding the F train home to Harlem. I lived at 145th Street. I had to get off up there. The F train runs express, so you want that express train because I don't remember all the stops, but it goes like 42nd Street, Bryant Park, 5th Avenue, maybe one more, then Columbus Circle, then 125th Street. So it goes from like 59th Street all the way to 125th Street, and it doesn't stop. So you want that express if you live way up there because it saves you at least a half an hour. I was on that train, and I was in the car completely by myself. And I was sitting I was at the end of the car, and there were 3 seats, like 1, 2, 3, and I was sitting right here in the seat, and I was just waiting. I was the only person in the car, and a dude got on at like 34th Street or whatever, Herald Square. A dude got on and sat right here. And it was at the end of the car. So not only I was sitting like this, and at the end of the car, the 2 seats that are there face this way. So I'm sitting like this, and this dude sits right here, and he's just staring right at me.
Oh,
Man.
And I went from 34th Street to Bryant Park, and I was like, all right,
Mayor Dink, the mayor's a nice guy. That's all I do.
yeah. Well, this dude, I could feel him. I'm like, I'm not looking at this guy because that's when he's going to bite. So I'm just going to wait. I'm going to keep my eye open, but I'm not going to engage him. And at the next stop, I'm going to jump off, run to the next car, and get on. But I jumped off at Bryant Park, and then the doors were just like, bing, and they closed right away. And then the train leaves, and then I had to wait like a half hour for the next train to come by to catch the F train to go. But at least I didn't die.
That would have been so funny if you got home and he was sitting on the stoop.
Oh, man.
Where the hell you been,
man.
John?
Why did you get off the train?
Why'd
I was
you
trying
get
to
off, man?
I was trying to stalk you and stare at you alone in the car by myself.
I was stationed in Brooklyn, New York, in the 70s. And I was out there 7 months, but I used to take the subway late at night. And there'd be like a couple of people. This guy was freaky, Johnny. But,
To be fair, though, the New York City subway in the 70s compared to now is night and day. Night and day. Like after whatever it was that I think Giuliani got elected and he cleaned up the whole city and Times Square became a carnival instead of a brothel.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since then, New York, for the most part, it's been pretty safe. Although lately it's been getting worse because so many businesses, even downtown. There's a girl. I shouldn't say girl. Forgive me. There was a woman who, she was a wrestler and she passed away like I think last year. She was like 40 maybe, and I think she had like a mental illness or an addiction or something, and she took her own life. So her brother fell into drinking and doing other stuff, and he ended up having to go to rehab. This guy got out of rehab. He was out of rehab for not even 12 hours, and he got killed in New York City.
No.
Someone just ran up and knifed him and ran away.
Ugh.
And this is at like 34th. This is like Midtown Manhattan. This is not where traditionally stuff is going wrong. But the city, everything is so boarded up and people are not going there because of Corona that like now it's kind of like the creeps are starting to make their way back in there. You know,
Somebody walked up and punched Rick Moranis in the face.
Some dude punched Rick Moranis, who's like 60, whatever, punched him in the side of the head, laid him out.
He's a Smurf.
He's so small. He's a small, elderly dude.
Yep.
And some dude, the kind of person it takes to punch any person that is not even looking is you're total garbage. But to do it to an elderly person who's not even looking, I'll say this. Unless this guy had some kind of traumatic experience with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, there's no excuse.
Or Ghostbusters.
Right.
Listen, you're not the keymaster. Rick Moranis is, and you just knocked him out like a jerk.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We would be remiss if we didn't mention that today is the 40th anniversary of John Lennon being murdered in New York at the Dakota.
That's right. That's right. And you know all he did? All he did was sign an autograph for the guy.
Yep.
That was
the
it.
Guy
And
was
then he came
stalking
back.
him. The guy kept going there and seeing him. He was just kind of stalking him for a while.
It's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
I
He was
remember
40.
My dad and I were watching Monday Night Football.
Howard Cosell.
Howard Cosell broke in to let the viewers know that he had been killed.
Yeah, that was tragic.
You know what's crazy? Not only about John Lennon. First of all, about John, I think all the influence that the guy had. That dude was 40. He was my age when he died. Imagine if, you guys know me, imagine if I were as famous and as talented and as influential as John Lennon. That's insane. And the other thing people don't realize is the Beatles weren't even a band for like 10 years.
Right, yeah.
They started in whatever year and they broke up the day of Apollo 13 or whatever it was. They had all those albums, all those hits, all that influence within a decade. That's nuts. That's
Unbelievable.
nuts.
Yeah, I love the Beatles, man. Larissa, what's going on before we what's going on over there in
Oh, I'm just listening. It's like watching the news. I love it.
it's like watching the news.
Larissa is probably the best listener that we have on. By
It's a
far.
Right? Thank you.
I would imagine that if we did a pop quiz with Larissa, she'd get 100 on it, on things that we've talked about.
That smart?
Because I watch her while we're talking, and she's sitting back, and she is taking it all in. She's taking names, numbers, facts, dates, the whole bit. She's got it down.
She's a nurse, though, so she's got to pay attention.
That's right,
She's
John.
got to
That's
absorb.
right.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
It's a hard job.
Yep.
If I ever got sick, I like Larissa to be my nurse. The problem is she delivers babies. So, but I'm a candidate to deliver a baby. There's a possibility there's a baby in here. So maybe I could sneak in and be in that ward, Larissa.
Yeah.
Please be the one.
Can you do that? Can you go to the hospital and like ask for your nurse like you ask for a waiter at a restaurant?
I don't think so.
I want to be seated at Larissa's
table.
Larissa's
section.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Put me in the Larissa ward. Well, she's only dealing with babies.
She's in
It's like,
maternity, sir.
hey, I'm a big fat baby. Put me in there.
And they even bring their own water beds.
There you go. Yeah.
I want a
That's
water
impressive.
bed in there, Larissa.
For you, one for me. No.
Yes, I want a water
That's
bed.
impressive. That in the hospital, you can have the waterbed that goes like this. Like,
Becomes the waterboarding bed.
Yeah, and it's a generator, so
Can you imagine giving birth on a waterbed, Larissa? I mean, how would that would be very difficult, wouldn't it?
like it's not enough fluid besides the water bed. I'm like, hold on, did you want the break or it's the bed? What's going on?
That's our next episode, Mike.
Our next
Find
show.
out if we can, one of our next episodes, you guys, find out if water beds are still, if you can buy one.
I just looked it up. You can buy one.
Yeah? Oh,
Yeah.
They must be all used, right?
No, I think you can still get a new one.
Yeah?
Really?
Yeah.
We'll have to see if we can track down Roanne.
Well, it looks like John's getting another Amazon delivery at his house.
Yeah.
You know what? We should.
Only this time your wife's going to return it.
can't return this one, brother. I gotta keep this one
Gotta keep this.
We should just prank him and send Johnny P a waterbed.
The
That
water
would-
bed's fine. We got to return the water.
I don't ever want another ex-wife to empty the water. That hurts. There's one thing, I'm in therapy. I still talk about it today. 62 years old. She took the water out, filled it back up. I don't know anybody that's happened to.
That is a vicious, calculated move to be like, I'm gonna
Can you
empty this
imagine
waterbed,
empty
move
the
the mattress,
water?
and then refill it.
And I get along with her now. I mean, through the years, we've seen her, and I get along with her now. But it was a rough divorce. But she actually did that. She took the water out, filled it back. It's unbelievable. I don't know anybody that's happened to, Dave. Do you?
No.
But that's the sign of a real genius because that's a very subtle move and a
Yeah,
very
it is.
small move,
It's
but a very
calculated.
impactful move.
Yes.
That was
Did
very
you-
calculated.
You think
Yeah.
she was mad at me?
I think she hated you at the moment.
That was one you'd have to say, well,
And then she went into the living room. She was going to take the
Refilled it with cold water.
She was going to take the wall-to-wall carpet, and Dave. She cut it up, and she was going to take the carpet out. But she didn't take the carpet. But I had a dog with her. She took the dog and gave him away.
No, she
Oh,
filled it with
that's
cold
awful.
water. She filled it with cold water so you get hemorrhoids.
She
How
filled it
much
with cold
was the
water, and she
water
took the
bill?
dog.
That one.
Yeah, what are you going to do? She's a good kid, but things happen.
Listen, you
Well,
don't take the dog and give the dog away. If you want to take the dog and keep it to spite somebody, fine. But you don't just throw someone's dog away. That's awful.
right? Yes.
That's
that-
a
I don't
member of
even
the
know whatever
family.
happened to that
That's
dog.
punishing the dog.
Yeah, exactly, Dave. Exactly. You want to get back at me, fine, but don't bring the dog into this.
I don't want to start arguing with her 30
He's
years.
got a hell of a lawyer.
I married her in 82, so that's fair. You're talking 38 years. I don't want her calling me then with beef about the dog. She took the dog. I'm over it now. Don't worry about it.
You're gonna wake up in your bed and there's gonna be a waterbed in your bed with you, like Godfather.
I don't know whatever happened to that dog. Maybe Big Red took him. Who knows? Maybe she gave me
Big
a Big
red
Red.
man.
Big red dog, Clifford. There we go. Right?
Well, we got to wrap this up.
You're gonna wake up. You're gonna wake up with the waterbed, and it's gonna have fish wrapped in it. Sicilian message. The waterbed sleeps with the fishes.
Yeah. A waterbed full of piranhas, Johnny. Let's do it. Let's bring it in.
Larissa, we got to wrap it up now. What are you going to say to wrap it up?
Oh, I'll be sleeping good today and dreaming about the waterbed.
That's a
Yeah,
pretty
thank
good
you.
deal, John. You got a nurse dreaming of a waterbed.
And John, nice meeting you.
It was a pleasure to meet you as well.
Oh, you guys have never been on together?
No, we never did a show together. We never met before.
No, that's
Wow.
nice. Thank you for that. So
Now
I've
you
thank
only
can
met
connect-
Larissa through you, through
You got a
these,
connection.
these
shows, yes.
shows.
Thank
Dave,
Whatever
what are you
they
going
are.
to say to wrap it up, Dave? We don't know what we call these things.
I don't know what we call these things. We're gonna put a blue ribbon committee together to try and come up with a name for this. Millions in tax dollars will be spent to try and come up with a name for this. But thank you, everybody. It was a lot of fun. Good seeing everybody.
We always love having you on, Dave. You put these little zingers in here and there.
I do.
You're very
do.
funny, man.
My wife loves it when I'm on too, because then I'm not in the living room with her.
That's it. That's good. Great having you on, Dave. I think we got you coming up again, right? I got you coming on again.
2 weeks, I think.
Larissa coming on again. Johnny's going to come on again. What do you say to wrap it up, Johnny?
I'll be back. To wrap it up, everybody, Please stay safe. Take care of each other. Be careful out there. It's worse than ever with COVID, so be careful. If you would, I would love it. I'd appreciate it if you would download or listen to my show, Spectacular Show. It's a podcast. I'm going to be doing all Christmas stuff this month. Well, not all Christmas stuff, all holiday stuff. I got Christmas Vacation coming up this month, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I got 8 days of the TV show The Goldbergs coming up for Hanukkah. I got all sorts of stuff coming up. One of my favorite shows. It's a great show. So I got all sorts of stuff. Please listen to Spectacular Show. Please listen to my girlfriend's podcast, Big Face. And you guys are the best. Thank you for having me on. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Johnny, you're the bomb. Mike Cronin, the final words. I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
I am humbled and honored to be on this show tonight with this esteemed cast. Larisa.
Never change that up, Mike.
No, because, well, I am.
You start the show with the same intro. Call out to your neighbors, and then you end the show with the same. You got to spiel.
Because I am. I look forward to the show all day. When you called me this afternoon, I want to know who was on. I'm like a kid. I get excited. Larisa and I have become friends, love her. And I'm serious, man. This girl is a great listener. I'm telling you, if we did the pop quiz, she'd get a 100 on it. Dave Sinclair, his comedy reminds me of like a young Cassius Clay. He is so quick snapping those one-liners out. I'd love to see him live and work an audience, man. Great.
I often get mistaken for Cassius.
There you go. There you go. I can see that. You know, I've told you before, you kind of remind me of Dennis the Menace all grown up. I'm glad to hear that you're
it's the dad from Family Circus.
Well, yeah, maybe too, but you look like you remind me of Dennis the Menace all grown up. John O'Connor, great seeing you, my brother. Love you. Always have a great conversation with you. I wish we could have got into more boxing talk tonight, but we couldn't. Let Katie know I pray that the St. Bernard is doing well.
Thank you. I hope so.
We're in tough times, as John O'Connor reminded us. You know, let's do what we know is right. Practice social distancing, wear the mask, be safe, lean into God, draw near to God, and God will draw near to you. God bless you all.
All right, guys and girls, thanks for coming on. And we will see you soon on the Zoom. Dave.
God bless
you. You didn't hold up the money today, Dave. All right, guys. Thanks for coming on, guys.